Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk to you about the very first book that I had published, and it's called 100 Free Ways to Happier Days. And it suggests 100 things that you can do either freely or very inexpensively to help you to feel happier, really almost straight away. And wow, 10 years ago, I've written a lot of books since then. I'm really kind of happy though. When I read a book again, even my own book, you learn new things. And I realized the things that I learned then, how they've led on to the things that I know now. And I wanted to share with you 7 points from the 100 free ways that really stand out for me at the moment. The first one, number one, affirmations. Basically, an affirmation is a positive statement that you say in the present tense. And the one that I'm using at the moment in these uncertain times, I find it really helps me is everything is happening exactly as it should. What that tends to do when I say that, it helps me to realize that we don't always know which things are good, which things are bad, how things are going to work out. That actually things have a strange way of working themselves out, and we don't need to worry so much. So that's one that I find probably helps me more now than it did even 10 years ago. The second one is inspirational quotes. I love reading and I love scrolling, and every so often you'll get a quote, and it might be from some amazing poet like Rumi, it might be from a famous person, it might be just a wise person that's made a comment that has been passed on. And out this one is a Chinese proverb, and I don't think anyone knows exactly who first said it, but it really, again, it really helps me. One step at a time is good walking. And basically, what that means is if you've got something that you really want to aim for, but you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, just take one step towards that thing. It can be what little thing can you do right now that's actually going to take you a step closer to where you want to be. So I really like that one. Third one, gratitude. Now, I thought gratitude was important then, but I really think it is now. I feel like what we focus on grows. So if we notice things in our lives that we have to be grateful for right now, we notice more and more things. Now, I have been involved in a whole number of gratitude programs and reading about gratitude. And I really do feel like every day I write at least 3 things down that I feel grateful for in this moment. And I try to vary them. I mean, there's things that I'm really grateful for, like my amazing cat George, for example. But I don't say every day, oh, I'm grateful for George. So every day I try and find something different. And it's incredible. In fact, some of the things that you initially find quite challenging, you can turn out to be grateful for. For example, we can really learn from mistakes that we make. And once we learn those from those mistakes, we can go on to achieve even more. So gratitude, I think, is a really important tip. And I'm really glad I learnt about it then. And I'm continuing to learn all about gratitude now. Step number 4, follow your path. Now, I think that links a bit to the step at a time is good walking. I think we've all got something that we want to aim for. And it could even be somebody wants to live in a particular place when they retire. It could be they want to write a book. It could be anything, literally anything. Now, I think most of you kind of know that my ultimate aim would be to open a wellbeing centre by the sea in the UK. And that's really where I'm aiming for. And that path can be very long and windy. And a lot of the things that I already do now are kind of helping me towards that. But I do consciously try to take things one step further at a time. And I learn as I go. I make so many mistakes, as we all do. But then when you learn something, it means that you can slightly change your course and you can go in the direction that you really would like to go. So I think following your own path is really important, or you could spend a lot of time being influenced by other people. And while they've got strong ideas of what you should do, if you live your life to please other people, I don't think you end up pleasing anybody, to be quite honest. What's my next point? Active listening. I think active listening is really, really important. And I think that most people, when they're having a challenging time, They just appreciate someone to listen to them. And it doesn't mean that you've got to have the answers. It doesn't mean that you have to be an expert or give out advice. Often, when people are going through, for example, grief, people initially are very sort of, oh, I'm sorry for your loss, that kind of thing. But after a while, they start to feel awkward. They don't know what to say to help the situation. So they start to avoid the person. And that person ends up feeling completely even worse. Where in reality, I think a lot of people don't mind if you get the wrong words or you stumble over your words. They just want to know that somebody cares and someone's prepared to listen to them. So I think active listening, so the person knows that you're listening, rather than trying to rehearse an amazing answer when they're talking, is the way to go. The next point is I wrote about animal sanctuaries, and I think they are such incredible, really important places. In a perfect world, we wouldn't need animal sanctuaries because all the animals would be living in harmony and we would be supporting them and there would be no cruelty. But in the absence of that, having somewhere where an animal can feel safe, either they stay there for life or they're found a really nice, safe, comfortable new home. I think they're amazing. And I know of a number of animal sanctuaries, and I really do think it's so important to support their work. What else have I got? The last one is the seasons. Now, in our country, in the UK, the seasons are very different. Sometimes we'll get some weather that we're not expecting in a certain season, like we might get a lot of kind of warm weather in the winter or whatever. But generally speaking, we have spring, we have our summer, we have our autumn, we have our winter, and each of those seasons has got its positives. A lot of us have a favorite season, and there might even be a season that we struggle with. But when you think about it, you get so much out of each season. And I kind of felt as time went on that our life is like living through seasons. You could sort of say spring is when you're young and you're growing, and the summer when everything's kind of getting established, and autumn things are coming to fruition, and then the winter that you're getting older, maybe things are starting to slow down. But what I'm discovering as I get older, there are amazing things to be gathered from each of those seasons. And I even wrote a book called Our Seasons that kind of describes that further. Can you hear my cat? He's got a lot to say for himself today. I think he quite likes the idea of being involved in this video. Anyway, they were my 7 points. I will post a link to the book if anyone would like to read it. It is 10 years old, so it talks about things that perhaps we have moved on from, like CDs. We don't tend to play CDs very much anymore. And some of the other things that I've wrote in the book, probably we wouldn't write now, but I'm not updating it because I kind of like it. It's like a reminder of where we were 10 years ago. And at the moment, I'm actually writing a book that's going to detail what I've learned from each of the books that I've written and kind of what we've all learnt from the different decades over the last 50 or so years, because we have had so many changes. Some of them are positive, some of them less positive, but some big events in the world clearly affect our own lives. And kind of that's where I'm at in my writing at the moment. And in September, it's all about celebrating me having written books for 10 years. Well, I've written books before that, but my first published book was 10 years ago. I think that's me done now. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and please do read the book. I mean, it's like I love reading it again because it made me realize the things that I learned then and then what I've learned since then. And what I find when you read a book, often it'll suggest another book, and then you read that book and you learn something new. And that's kind of how I've kind of moved on through my personal development over this last decade. I'd love to hear from you too, kind of what books have really made a difference to you, what quotes inspire you, what is your favorite season? Any of these points, I'd love to hear from you. Take care. Bye bye.